the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Welcome back to another episode of Bill Nye's Safety Guys. I'm Kendall.
I'm Micah.
And I'm Rachel. Today we're going to talk about the Texas City disaster that occurred on April 16, 1947.
It was the largest industrial accident in U.S. history. So let's take a look at some of the events that led up to this.
April 16, 1947, the SS Grand Camp, docked at Texas City, Texas, was being loaded its last few sacks of fertilizer when the crew noticed smoke coming from the ship. The Grand Camp at the time was loaded with approximately 2,200 tons of ammonium nitrate, as well as about 2,400 pounds of ammunition. They found a small fire inside the ship. Although not confirmed, the fire was likely caused by a crew member's cigarette. The fire department tried to put it out with water, but it kept spreading. Many of the crew evacuated. The captain decided to try to extinguish the fire by forcing steam into the cargo holds so that there would be less damage to the cargo. The steam ended up liquefying the ammonium nitrate, creating nitrous oxide, an extremely volatile substance. It also increased the ship's internal temperature to 850 degrees Fahrenheit, as well as ruptured the fuel tanks, adding more fuel to the fire. At 9 o'clock that morning, the ammonium nitrate reached an explosive threshold from the combination of heat and pressure and detonated the vessel. The explosion caused massive damage to the surrounding areas. Windows were shattered in Houston, 40 miles away, flattened the buildings nearby, and even took a plane out of the sky. Emergency relief efforts from around the state came to help with the immense damage.
The horror wasn't over yet. As help poured into Texas City, no one gave much thought to another Liberty ship tied up at the adjoining slip. The High Flyer was loaded with sulfur, as well as 1,000 tons of ammonium nitrate fertilizer. The force of the Grand Camp's explosion had torn the High Flyer from its moorings and caused it to drift across the slip, where it lodged against another vessel, the Wilson B. Keene. Later in the afternoon, men looking for casualties boarded the High Flyer and noticed flames coming from one of the holds. Although they reported this to someone at the waterfront, several more hours passed before anyone understood the significance of the situation, and not until 11 p.m. did tugs arrive to pull the burning ship away from the docks. The tugs were unable to extract the ship from the slip. By 1 a.m. on April 17th, flames were shooting out of the hold. 10 minutes later, the High Flyer exploded in a blast witnesses thought even more powerful than that of the Grand Camp.
The aftermath of the two explosions contained death and vast damages. The state government listed 405 identified and 63 unidentified dead. At least another 100 were counted as missing. Injuries reached 3,000 people. Fire and rescue workers rushed in from nearby cities, and the Red Cross mobilized a massive national response. But again, these were the days before jet passenger and cargo planes. More than 1,500 houses, one-third of the town's housing, were destroyed. 2,000 of the survivors were rendered homeless. The total property damage in Texas City was estimated at $100 million, approximately $1.1 billion in today's terms.
After the incident, new operating procedures and safety regulations were formed.
So let's take a look at some of these. The disaster brought changes in chemical manufacturing and new regulations for the bagging, handling, and shipping of chemicals. Any ship with hazardous material as cargo entering a port, such as ammonium nitrate, must notify the port facility, who in turn should notify the chief of the fire department immediately.
After leaving the ship, the material should be stored only in masonry or fireproof sprinklered buildings on skids or pallets on concrete floors with at least 1 foot clearance from walls. Cities where large industrial operations are present or in an area subject to hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, etc., should have a well preconceived and organized disaster plan to include all relief, law enforcement, firefighting, military, and naval agencies.
It is suggested that steam not be used for firefighting in compartments containing ammonium nitrate. Fire departments combating ammonium nitrate fires should only use water in large quantities, applied gently so as not to scatter the material.
We're the safety guys.
And thanks for watching Disney Channel.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.